So you finally decided to make a lifestyle change to help you lose weight. That's awesome. As I mentioned before, your diet will play a pivotal role in this process as it will do 80% of the work for you. But yet people still find it very hard to stick to a diet or meal plan. Reasoning for that, very simple. You're either eating way too much or you're not eating enough. But the question is, how do you know? How do you know that you're eating enough day in and day out, or that you're eating the right foods to help you lose weight? Well, I'm glad you asked that, because I'm here to help you. Welcome to Dad Beard Life. What's up guys, Daryl here, and welcome to Dad Beard Life, where I'm helping you be the healthiest and leanest dad you can be. Let's talk calories. Many are delicious, but bad for you, which make it very easy for you to put on those extra set of pounds. In my last video, you remember I talked about feeding your body the nutrients it needs. Now, the biggest question I got out of that was, how? How do you know that you're eating the right calories or eating the right type of food to help you lose weight? Well, I'm following up on those questions here and now in this video, where I'm about to show y'all how I track my meals to make sure I'm making the most out of all meals and snacks. Now I'm sure you're asking, what's a calorie and why do I need to track it? Well, a calorie is a unit of energy used to gauge how much energy your body will get from eating or drinking something. So the old term that I've always heard tossed around is you can never outrun your fork. Meaning, if you're eating like garbage and you're not doing much activity, obviously you're not going to lose weight. But if you are working out, but you're still eating like garbage, no matter how much activity you do, you're still going to be gaining weight or staying the same and not seeing any results, because you're not lessening the amount of calories or watching the food that you're eating. So we know what a calorie is. Now within the calorie, you have macronutrients. Now there are many other macronutrients that we can go into high depth into, but I really don't feel the need to right now, because we're just going to go over the basics. Only 3 macronutrients you need to worry about right now are proteins, fats, and carbs. Now we all know what those are. They're in all foods, and depending on how you gauge them is going to determine how well or poorly your diet goes. Now, other macros that I also kind of keep an eye on are fibers, dietary fiber, and sugar. Obviously, sugar. You don't want to eat too much sugar, right? So that's another one you might want to throw in there. But the 3 main ones, remember, proteins, fats, carbs. All right, so we have calories and we have macros. Well, now to tie them together, because depending on your goal, whether you choose to bulk, put on weight, build mass, or cut, which is lose weight, which is what I'm trying to do right now, you're going to alter your macros and your calories respectively. So I'll dig a little bit more into that here in a sec, but just to give you an idea, they're kind of common sense, right? So if you want to bulk, you're going to have to eat more because you're working out more and expending out more energy. If you're wanting to cut, then obviously you're going to eat less and still do more energy so that you can burn those extra calories off and start losing that weight. So that's how they go hand in hand. Now we're going to talk about how we track them. So far, the best and easiest tool I've ever found to track calories, that I've used for well over a year or 2 already, is MyFitnessPal. Now, I'll put a link to it in the description below so that you can click to it and download it. You can view it on the website. You can download the app for Android and iOS, so that's a plus. Everybody can use it. You just pretty much create an account, put your information in, but be honest. Put your weight. I would suggest weighing yourself right before you put your weight in, so you have that starting weight exact, because it's going to track for you. And then you're going to put some information about yourself, your height, your lifestyle. So sedentary, which is what I do because I sit at a desk all day and work. It doesn't count if you're going to the gym every now and again, or you say you're going to go to the gym every now and again. Put down sedentary. Or if you're actively walking around, maybe you're in sales, you're always up and about the floor, or if you're working construction, you're moving around constantly. It's going to give you descriptions of each one to kind of help you gauge what you need to do. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to download the app, you're going to register, create a profile, enter your information in, and that's it. The steps in there are going to show you to add. You can add breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, supplements. You can track anything and everything's just a search away. One of the fun things I like to do with that app, which has really opened my eyes, is when I'm craving something. A little pro tip for you guys. When I'm craving like a cheat meal item, I don't like that term, but when I'm doing a cheat and I want to think, oh man, I want a pizza or I want a burger, plug that into MyFitnessPal. Look at how many calories it is compared to how many calories you're supposed to eat that day so that you can lose weight. I guarantee you, it's gonna stop you, because it did for me. I'd be sitting there wanting some pizza. Pizza's my weakness, but you know, I look at the calories and look at it and say, man, I could eat this pizza, but all my fat's gonna go through the roof. All my carbs are gonna go up, and plus, on top of that, it's gonna take out more than half of my caloric intake for the day. I'm not gonna do anything else today, right? So it's not worth it. So that's a fun thing to do and a good way to keep yourself on track. Now, if you're looking for a fruit or meat or a vegetable and it's not coming up, one of the best things I can do, or I'm sorry, they will come up, but there's gonna be a bunch of them. Type in USDA in front of it. It'll give you the exact one that gives you the correct carbs. It also has a scanner, which is awesome. You can click on it, it'll turn on your camera and it'll scan a barcode of a food. Some produce works. I haven't tried all of it, but some produce does work. But all foods, all you do is scan the barcode on the box and it'll pull up the details for you real quick, and you can make it easy to track. It'll tell you how much a serving size is, and it'll tell you what the calories are and macros are for each item. Plus, it'll give you little hints as you log stuff. It'll say, hey, you're approaching your fiber goal, or you hit your fiber goal, or you hit your calorie goal, or you hit your protein or carb goal. So it's a great tool to use. I recommend you download it right now. Well, after the video, download it and be ready to use it. So we have our calories and we have our macros and we have MyFitnessPal. Now the next step in this process is calculate your calories and your macros for you personally, not them or me or anybody else, for you. Now, how do you do that? There's two ways. You can either use the recommendations from MyFitnessPal, which they do give you a recommendation, and it's moderate in terms of aggressiveness. Me, on the other hand, I am a little more aggressive in my goals, so I tend to have a little more control in that, and I like to kind of calculate my own macros and my own calories. Now, it's not very hard. It's actually very simple to do. To do that, all you're gonna do is go to tdeecalculator.net. I'll put the link in the description below, so you don't have to memorize that. Once you go in there, you're gonna enter similar information as you did on MyFitnessPal, minus the registration and the email and all that. But just like your height, weight, your age, your lifestyle. And then from there, it'll give you your recommended caloric goal. It'll actually give you your maintenance goal, right? So if you wanna stay where the weight you're at, if you're happy where you're at and you just wanna maintain that weight, it'll give you that caloric goal and the macro goals for each one to maintain. Now, if you wanna lose weight, as I mentioned before, you're gonna be in a deficit. So you're gonna take that maintenance number and you're gonna subtract 500 calories from that. No more than that, because you're gonna feel it. But don't go more than 500. Just trust me. Do 500 deficit. That's the perfect amount to do. Second, if you want to go in the bulk, then you're gonna go in a surplus, right? So you're gonna add 500 to the maintenance one. So pretty much just use the maintenance one as your baseline and then go up and down depending on what you're gonna do. Now, in that calculator site that I just gave you, it's also going to give you different splits in terms of your macros. When by splits, I mean the percentages and how much percentage of each macronutrient is going to go into your calorie intake for the day. Now, that's where you're going to want to tweak it a little bit. Now, you can do the simple route just to kind of learn it, which is what I would recommend you do, and pick one of those. It's going to give you low carb, moderate carb, low fat, whatever. Me personally, at the point that I'm on right now, if you were to be following keto like me, then you're gonna wanna do 75% fat, 20% protein, and 5% carbs. That's what I do. And it's very hard to limit that many carbs. But if that's what you wanna do, if you wanna go on keto, then that's the recommended calculation that I like to give. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. Now, if you don't want to go keto, that's okay. There's other options there for you, and it'll help you pick the right one for you, at least to get you started. So that way you can kind of start trying to eat better and do better in terms of your meal planning and your meal options as well. So now that we have all of our data, we're able to actually plug it all into MyFitnessPal, and now you're ready to go. That's it. Just run with it and do it. Now, the trick here is that MyFitnessPal will only be as useful and effective as you let it be. Why do I say that? Well, some people don't like to track everything. Well, I'm not going to track these 4 cookies. It's only 2 cookies. No, track everything. Even if you're not on a diet, just track what you eat in a day, just to get into the routine. Like if you're like me and you like to start like on week starts, like on Mondays, I like starting my diets on Mondays or my fitness plans on Mondays. That's just something I do. It's a business hours mindset that I have. But let's give you an example. I like to start on Mondays, but let's say right now it's the weekend and I'm not going to start yet. Well, still track it just so you can get into the habit of doing it. Because once you get into that routine and into that habit of doing it, it's second nature. Like now when I go anywhere, if I'm at a cookout, or if I'm at my house, or if I'm at a restaurant, I already pull my phone out as soon as I order and I plug in what I'm about to eat, just so I don't have to worry about it anymore and I can keep track of it. It's going to be helpful, and you just have to be honest with it. Put everything in there, and you'd be surprised. The biggest shocker to me, aside from some of the calories that food has, is the serving size. I'm peanut butter fanatic. I love peanut butter. I would eat peanut butter straight out the jar with a spoon if I could. So one day I got the jar of peanut butter, and I actually weighed out one serving of peanut butter. Now, I'll let you guys do this on your own. But a serving of peanut butter is a tablespoon. Well, that's what I usually give myself, a tablespoon of peanut butter. Get your spoon and then get what you think is a tablespoon, and then actually get a tablespoon or weigh out a tablespoon if you have a scale, and see the difference. It's gonna be crazy, because you're gonna think you've been eating so much for so long, you're just not used to it. So that's why you have to track your info and be honest with it and put exactly what you've eaten. It's gonna help. It's gonna go a long ways. Now, quick little update for you. I did start keto on the 23rd. 22nd. My days are getting away from me with this quarantine. I mean, what is time anymore, right? So on the 22nd of June, I did start keto. I weighed myself this morning actually, and I'm 2 weeks in, and now I can proudly say I've lost 9 pounds in 2 weeks, no gym, just eating keto. And like I said, I've been eating bacon, all that good stuff. So if you want to learn about that keto lifestyle, it's on my other videos. So after this video is over, go to my channel, check it out. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I was pretty excited about that. I didn't get a chance to check in on my ketosis levels, or my ketone levels, I should say, to see if I am in ketosis, because I took my strips out to do the testing, like I talked about in my last video, but they're expired. So they don't work. So I ordered some new ones. They'll be in tomorrow. And as soon as I do, I'll probably post it on my Instagram. So make sure you follow me at Dad Beard Life, or even on my Facebook page, Dad Beard Life. The links to everything is in the description below as well. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys have already used MyFitnessPal, or if you use something different, or if you're going to start using MyFitnessPal for the first time. Either way, let me know. Also, don't forget, if there's any content you'd like to see specific from me, let me know. I'll be happy to take a look. I always welcome feedback and suggestions. Again, share the videos, tell people about it. I'm looking to grow this channel as best as I can so that everyone can have access to this information, because like I said in the very, very, very beginning, I didn't know any of this. I had to learn it all myself. Thank God I've had friends who can help me along the way, and they have helped me out, and I appreciate them. I have a little something special lined up to thank them. But again, you don't know, it's okay not to know. Just know where to find the information, and I'm hoping to give it to you guys here, and I'm hoping you share the message too, and share it out with all your friends and family, to help them get on track to their goals as well. So that's all I have for this week. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. See y'all next week.